Hi, this is Mike Marshev, and welcome to sales meeting number 4. And if there's any truth to the fact that time flies, we're at the end of the year already. 2013, it's almost over. We're looking down the barrel of a new year, 2014. How exciting is that? And I thought that our last meeting, we spent some time reviewing a few ideas, hoping that I would stimulate your creativity, stimulate your stimulation and your ideas, and help you launch into 2014 like you've never have launched before. So with that being said, let me show you a little exercise here that it's called the 6-word phraseology, or call it whatever you want. But I want you to think of 6 words that define you. Here's an example. Here's 6 words: easy listening, stimulating ideas, fun interaction. Those are 6 words that say something. Now, you might want to say painless, fun, thought-provoking, meaningful experience. Okay, those are 6 words. And I want you, following along the Twitter idea of 140 characters, I want you to think of how you could say what you want to say in as few words as possible. And this is a great exercise. 6 words: painless, fun, thought-provoking, and it's a meaningful experience. Those are 6 words. Here's another one: reducing, reusing, recycling. Environmentalist? Nope. Broke. Again, there's a thought. 6 words explains it all. Found true love, married someone else. That might explain your past or your dilemma, but you see what I'm talking about. 6 words. Think about it. It's a fun exercise. What 6 words define you? Here's what I came up with, because I look back into my experiences. I was always involved in some kind of sport which involved a ball. So I said, toss the ball, had a ball. Now, here's the challenge. You have heaven forbid, you're going to pass away someday, but here's your tombstone. What 6 words on your tombstone defines your life? That's what I want you to think about. I would put toss the ball, had a ball. Don't worry about Mike, had a great time. All right. So there's the exercise. Here's one for you: lived, loved, learned, listened, shared, died. There you go. On the tombstone, says it all. You check it out. It's a fun exercise. Have fun with that one. Oh, I have one more here. Did this, done that, accomplished nothing. Well, you don't want that on your tombstone, but there you go. Mike here, can I help you? There you go. 6 words. Mike here, can I help you? That's all the 6 words you need. So you get the idea. Oh, there's another one. Long on want, short on do. Ooh, that defines a lot of people. We talk a good game, but do we actually follow up? Long on want, short on do. Let me see. New house, new closet, same skeletons. Ooh, there you go. So you're getting the idea. Do I have another one here? Let me see. If I have another one, let's see. Nope, that's it. So there it is. There's the challenge. 6 words. Define on your tombstone what defines your life. Have fun with it. Now, before we officially begin, I want to talk about the power of applause. The power of applause, folks. Very, very important. Everybody wants to be acknowledged for their good things. Everybody. You, me, everybody. So as we go into the new year, I want you to think about starting a campaign where you notice good things happening in your world. Heaven knows, we know there's enough bad things. We know there's enough to whine about. There's enough to complain about. But start noticing the good things in your world, in your environment, in your marketplace, and stop and pause and applaud that person. Acknowledge the good they're doing. What will happen? You will feel good. They will feel good. They'll bring it home. They'll continue their behavior in the exact same way. They'll even get better. The world will be a better place. The power of applause is, in fact, incredible. I took this picture when I was on the Allure of the Seas. I was in a balcony overlooking the back carnival area, and not such a flattering photo, but the point is, at 5 o'clock in the morning, here was a woman cleaning every single rung that surrounded the carousel. Every single rung. I watched her. She didn't know I was watching her. I watched her as she bent over and with her rag cleaned every single rung. So 3 or 4 hours later, people would go by and say, boy, isn't this a very clean and comfortable ship. Well, it doesn't happen by accident, folks. Good things do not happen by accident. This woman got up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning every single day, and her job was to clean the rungs on the carousel. And when I saw her later that day, I did acknowledge her. I said, you don't know I was watching you, but I saw you cleaning that carousel, and you just do a wonderful, wonderful job. And she didn't look for my applause, but I gave it to her. The people who clean your cabin, give them applause. The people who wait on your tables, give them applause. If they do it well, if anybody's doing their job well, give them applause, and it'll really work in your favor. Here's a point I want you to remember moving forward. I'm going to find more energy finding my next new client than I am keeping what I already have. It's a human trait. People work harder to get what's next than they do to keep what they already have. They work for the next television, the next car, the next vacation, rather than relish and enjoy what they already have. That being said, this is a very important point. Your customer, the person who's already doing business with you, is my prospect. And by definition, I'm going to find more energy working on my prospect than you are on your customer. And they're the same person. But the point is, I'm going to pay attention to them and make it very obvious that I'm interested in them. And if you don't do the same, they're going to drop you and select me. It's a great, great challenge. Write this down. Put it on your mirror in the morning. Your customer is my prospect. And the message to you is, number one, protect right now with everything you have. Protect what you already have so I won't come and get it, so I won't come and steal them from you. Okay, so I want to talk to you about a few items now. One of them is the give before you get syndrome. I know that you charge a fee, or if you don't, you work on commission. Maybe you should charge a fee. That's a subject of another day. But the point is, regardless, you have to make an impression with me. You have to spend some time. You have to invest some time in getting me to feel comfortable with you if you have an intention of establishing a relationship. And in my business, it's called the give before you get syndrome. I have to give you my attention, give you my time, give you some information, give you some value, so you then feel comfortable and you feel that I know what I'm talking about, and that you can trust me, that I follow through, that I've done my homework, I've done my research, and that you can in fact put your vacation in my hands. So you give before you get. Now, a lot of small companies feel that they've been cheated or people are taking advantage of them. Well, don't think like that. You have to pay your dues. You have to invest some time and energy and knowledge into getting the point across that you're not like everybody else, that you're worth doing business with. So don't be frightened to give before you get, and getting means the new customer. One of the things I always try to do is I try to write some of my information, have some of my knowledge down in a written format, call it a special report, so I can give you my knowledge in my special report, so then you, in your own time, can digest it and come to your own conclusion that I do, in fact, know what I'm talking about. So that's what I want to do, is give before you get, and then reap the benefits. Knowing that not everybody's going to be a customer of yours. Everyone's not going to end up as a client of yours. Now, on number two, referrals. That's an interesting topic, because everybody says, oh, I love referrals, and I always enjoy referrals, and I build my business on referrals. Well, that's great. That's great if it's true. Referrals are a lot harder than people make them sound. People are not going to refer you unless you are really, really good. And good is not the right word. You have to wow them. You have to be fantastic. You have to be fabulous. You have to be incredible for people to carry your name around with them and say, hey, use my travel professional. Being good, being fine, being okay is not it. It won't do it. You might do it for them, but they're not going to put their reputation on the line and say, hey, take your family on vacation, use my guy, unless they're absolutely positive that you can deliver. So people say on their calling cards, we appreciate. I love that word, appreciate. Who cares what you appreciate? I appreciate referrals. No, no, no. You earn your referrals. You earn your reputation. You work hard for what you have. You just don't appreciate what you can do for me. It's a very weak word. If you can take it out of your vocabulary, try to do so. Community service. Community service is something that I have to be honest with you that I haven't done a lot. But if you are a member of a community and you believe in what you're doing, then you can donate some of your time, some of your knowledge, some of your creativity to the community service. And I'm telling you, you then will gain trust and you'll have a reputation where more and more people will come your way. Have I done that in my career? Not as much as I should have, much to my chagrin. But those who have, those who do give their time to their community, benefit in more ways than one. So community service also is a good approach. The bottom line is this: your biggest single concern is that not enough people know you're alive. That's the big problem. That's the snag. That's the challenge. How can I do business with you if I don't know that you exist, if I don't know you're alive? So what you have to do on a regular day-to-day basis, week in, week out, month in, month out, year in, year out, you have to get out and remain visible in the marketplace, because before visibility, nothing happens. You have to be visible. I have to know that you're there. Then and only then can I give you the time to convince me that you're worth doing business with. But visibility comes first. So as the year unfolds, I want you to think of ways that you can get up, get out, and make more people glad they know you. That's my 12-word marketing plan. Get up, get out, and make more people know and appreciate that you came into their life. Make more people glad they know you. So visibility as we go into 2014, most important. If I don't know you're alive, nothing's going to happen. So let's start with square one, and we do that by getting visible. Now, this slide here, the arrows show on this first slide in this 5th grade class or whatever class it is, they show the arrows are pointing to people who are not raising their hand, if you notice. Okay, they're just sitting there and their hands are not raised. Now, when I go to the next slide, now I've blocked out the row of people whose hands are raised. Well, I did that on purpose. Your job is to get people to raise their hand. That's what you want to do. Because if they're not raising their hand, they don't want to talk to you. They're not interested. They don't want to be called on. They don't want to initiate a communication process. My hands are down. Don't call on me. Don't talk to me. But if my hand is up, I'm saying, hey, come and get me. I want to talk. Well, that's your challenge in business. How do you get people to want to talk to you? There it is, right there in a nutshell. There's your plan for 2014. I'm going to get more people to want to talk to me. Now, I'll give you an example. If you say, I'm going to have a seminar down at the library and we're going to be talking about women's safety when traveling, the people who come into that library room are saying, hey, my hand is raised. I want to learn from you. I want to hear you speak. I want to learn something. I want to keep safe. You threw something out into the wind and people raised their hand. Now they're going to listen to you and you'll be able to have the time and have their attention to make an impression. They'll know you're alive, and then a certain number of them will like you. And then they'll ask what you do, and some of them are going to turn into customers. And then women's safety this week. What about river cruising next week? What about Alaska the following week? You have so many things, carrots, let's call them carrots, to toss up into the air. Who wants to know about this? People will raise their hand. You talk to them. Who wants to know about this? Different people raise their hand. You talk to them. Your job is to get people to raise their hand, and then they're going to listen, and then you have a forum to make an impression. You can do it by workshops, seminars, lunch and learns. You can do it on teleconference calls. You can do it at trade shows. You could do it on going into schools. There's so many different ways for you to stay visible, saying, hey, who wants to know what I know? And not everybody does. Remember that. Not everybody does. Not everybody stops by your trade show booth, but there's a few people who do. And they're the ones who are raising their hands. They're the ones that you want to talk to and establish a relationship with. What you don't want is to fall into the trap of the numbers game. Oh, give me 5,000 people, give me 10,000 people, and I'll get a few. No, that's no fun. I don't care if your database is 10, 15, or 20. Pay attention to them and cultivate them, and you will get business. If you blow them away, they'll give you referrals, and your business will grow. So take advantage. When your phone rings, for heaven's sakes, that's a great, great thing. When someone calls you, answer the phone like you're glad they did call you. Don't act like a big shot. Don't sound boring on the phone. It's your day in court. The phone rang. It's showtime. Somebody asks you a question. It's showtime. Someone comes into your workshop. It's showtime. Someone comes to your webinar. It's showtime. That's the mentality I want you to have if you want to grow your business. And the strategy is to get the people to come to you. And when they come to you, then you are in total control. When someone calls you on the telephone, you are in total control. Not them, not the caller. The person who answers the phone can control that phone call. I want you to say, hey, come and meet me at the diner. It's your party. You're in control. Come and sit at my table. It's your party. You're in control. Get people to come to you, and then your true personality can shine. Not everybody's going to like it. Not everybody is going to endorse it, but there's a certain number of people who will, and that's how you grow your business. Now, the next slide shows a number of marketing topics, including direct mail, networking, publicity, sales, social media, video marketing, web traffic, webinars, viral marketing, Twitter or social media, referral marketing, outsourcing, lead generation, all of these things, consulting, blogging, all good topics, all things we could talk about forever. But the one I want to just highlight today is the one called public speaking. Public speaking, folks, I know that everybody doesn't like to do it. Everybody's scared to do it. I'm telling you, it is the best way to grow your business, is to be able and be confident enough and to know your subject enough to share information on a particular topic. Once again, not everybody's going to want to listen to you and your topic discussion, but there's an awful lot of people who will. And you demanding attention in front of a group, not talking to one at a time, but talking to a group of 5, 10, 15, 20, 50 people at one time, the numbers working for you there, you say it once, they listen, you show your true personality because it's your party, you're on stage, you can do your song and dance the way you want to do it, they will know exactly who they're working with, you will grow your business. If you're frightened, if you're scared, here's why you're scared. You're frightened of public speaking because you're afraid that somebody in the audience knows more than you and they will call you on it. That is not the case. The people who know more than you aren't sitting out there. They won't come. They'll think it's foolish. They'll stay home. The people who come to your programs are the ones that saying, please teach me just one thing I don't already know to help me take a better vacation, help me save money, help me stay safe, help me plan better. Those are the people who are in the audience looking for that one new good idea. They are on your team. They are on your side. They are not there to hurt you. They are there hoping that you do well so they can applaud you. So the reason you're going to fail is a fictitious reason. You don't have to be frightened of this. You just are going to share with me 3 points, 5 points, 7 points of information that you know to be true. You know to be true. You don't think it's true. You know these things to be true, and you're going to share them with the people sitting in front of you. After you do that, and it might take 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, then you open up to questions. But in the initial 15 minutes, you've demonstrated that you're a human being, that you're approachable, that you have a sense of humor, that you're there. Then they will ask you questions. Then the dialogue starts, and then the meeting begins. It's an absolute no-brainer. Speaking in public on the subject that you care about, that you're passionate about, that you know about, is the best way by far to grow your business in 2014. And if you still don't want to do it, then I urge you to join something called Toastmasters, and they will help you get through it. The fact that you don't like it, I didn't ask you if you liked it or not. I'm telling you, this works. If you want to grow your business, this is the way to do it. This is the fastest way, not the only way, but the fastest way to do it. And if you're hesitant, then go seek some help, because you're making it harder than it has to be. This is not hard. I want you to believe me when I tell you that. I will say it again. You're not giving a speech. You don't have to give a speech. Nobody wants to listen to a speech. You don't have to memorize anything. I don't want you to be robotical up there. All I want you to do is share information that you already know. You don't have to do any homework. You don't even have to do any prep. You already know it. All I want you to do is share it. Are you going to stumble? Yes. Are you going to say, yes. Are you going to say, yes. Okay, it's all right, as long as you don't kill it to death, of course. But you're going to do these things, and then you're going to get better at it. Then you're going to get really good at it. Then it's going to be fun, and then it's going to be effective, and then your business is going to grow. And if you don't believe me, you better believe me, because that's the way it works. This, by far, is the ideal way to position you and your personality as the go-to source. You can write things. You can talk to on the phone. You can try to convince people. All of those are fine. But until you get in front of a group and share information, then and only then will you become the real deal. Please, please give this some serious thought, because I'm telling you, it's in your favor. Now, there's other things that we can do to grow our business. And another good way is to, if you're so smart, if you've been in the business, if you're passionate, if you know what you're talking about, you can say it in a presentation, but also write it. Write it down in an article. It doesn't have, don't make this thing hard. If you're a professional, you need to have an article written by yourself with your picture, your byline, and your contact information all included in the article. And I don't care what you write on. And here's how you do that. First, write a short, lousy article. You can do that. I know you can. Write a short, lousy article. Number one. Number two, start making it a little less lousy. Make it a little bit better. Edit it. And then make it a little bit longer. So now you have a little bit longer, not such a lousy article, and then you edit it again. And soon you get a nice article that's not bad. Then you get a better article that's really good. Then you get a longer article that's worth reading, and then you have it. And if it's evergreen, and that means if you don't date it, if it works for a while, if it's on a subject that's been around, you now can hand out this article to people for the next 10 years. Now, I don't want you to do this, because you're all capable of writing a short, lousy article and then making it better. But if you have to, go get someone else to write an article for you. Get help. Go to 5rr.com. You might have heard of it. www.5, two letters, rr.com. 5rr.com. Is it 2 R's? Maybe 1 R. I don't know. Check it out. 5R. I think it's 2 R's. But in any event, 5, FIVER, or maybe there's another R.com. Get someone else to write an article for you. 350 words, 400 words, 500, 750 at the most. You can do it, but you need an article with your picture on it so you can hand it out and you become the real deal. Number two, e-zines. E-zines are great. They're a dime a dozen, though. Don't get me wrong. Everybody's onto this electronic magazine deal. But if you write one that's meaningful, if you write one that's readable, if you write one that makes sense, then you will keep your name and your picture out in front of people. It's a great tool. Plus, here's a bonus. To write it, you've got to study it. You've got to go onto Google and you've got to do some research, so you will become better at your business by writing, because you will learn as you go. There's no saying, if you want to learn something, teach it. Why? Because you've got to research it. You want to write something, you're going to become better because you're going to be analyzing and researching the topic that you're writing on. Letters. Not enough people are writing letters today, sales letters. Why? Because they're scared to write. Why? Because they don't like to write. They say, well, people read emails. No, no, no. Emails are becoming yesterday's news. I don't really mean that, but they're serious things. But you write somebody a letter, they will read it. If it's a well-written letter, they will read it. Believe me, they will. Write a lousy letter, then make it better. That's how you do it. You're not going to be good at once, and the more letters you write, the better you're going to get. The more of anything you do, the better you're going to get. It's called practice. You fail, you practice, you fail some more, you practice some more, and pretty soon you get pretty good at it. You're going to be in this business a long time. Let's fail more. Let's get out there, stick your head out, get out of the comfort zone. Speak to people in public, write an article, write a blog and an e-zine, get your name out there, write some more letters. Postcards, beautiful. I love postcards. Why? Because they're like little billboards. People will look at them. People will read them. People will see your name next to whatever paragraph or headline you wrote, and they will either position you as somebody who knows what they're talking about or not. Postcards, a beautiful, beautiful thing. Don't sell them short. There's so many things you can do in the year ahead that maybe you're not doing now to position yourself head and shoulders above the competition. Not only will it work, but it's going to be fun. Getting good at your trade is fun. Getting recognized is fun. Being someone who writes an article is fun. Someone who responds to your letter is fun. Someone who acknowledges people down the street, that's fun. It's all fun. Building a business is fun. You're just not doing enough of what you can do given your given budget, time constraints, and personality. You're just not doing enough of it because you forgot that this is fun. Once it becomes fun again, you're going to start doing it some more. And in this last slide, I just wanted to show you what a decent graphically presentable letter looks like. Notice there's so much white space. There's a lot of space in there. I only used 4 paragraphs. There's only 4 paragraphs with a couple of sentences, but why I keep it this short is because people will read this. Keep it short, keep it sincere, topical, and then easy to write, and it'll be easy to read, and people will read it. They'll get your name, they'll get your company, they'll get your contact information, they'll know you're alive. It all works. The fact that they don't book a cruise around the world because of the letter, that's neither here nor there. But you have to get these out because people will read them and you'll make an impression. That's what I want you to do, and that's what I came here today to tell you. Now, in the time we have left today, I want to just give you some customer service tips before the end of the year, things to think about, things that might help you as you go forward. So in the next section of this particular program, we're going to swing over to a section, my section, called Treat Your Customers Like Dogs. I just pulled out a few ideas that I want to share with you, so that will be coming up right now. I'm going to kick things off today by sharing with you 9 points addressing the question, what do people want? Now, number 1, they want to feel welcome. Who doesn't enjoy the feeling that their presence is appreciated? I know I do, and I know you do. Now, there's nothing as cold and unnerving as the feeling that you are not welcome in a particular environment. This is easy to address. Make others feel welcome, and they will reward you for doing so in time. Number 2, to feel comfortable. Now, this goes hand in hand with feeling welcome. When one is unfamiliar with their environment, there is a tendency to feel uncomfortable. So go out of your way to make strangers, guests, and visitors feel comfortable as best you can. Some will take longer to warm up than others. All you can do is all you can do. Now, my style is to act as if my guests are a part of the furniture. I treat them as if they already belong. I don't fuss over them. This happens to work for me, I think. Mi casa, you casa, or something like that. Number 3 is to be understood. Nothing is more frustrating than to state your case or offer your opinion and have others misinterpret your meaning or miss your message altogether. You don't necessarily have to endorse my side of the story, but at the very least, I would like you to understand what it is I'm trying to say. Number 4 is to feel important. Everybody is a big shot in their own mind, or at least in their own little cozy environment. Upon leaving the safety of one's known environment, the picture changes, and it is often unnerving. Make others feel important in your presence, and this small courtesy will serve you well. The easiest and fastest way to deliver this message is to listen to what others have to say after asking them some impertinent questions. Get them talking, listen intently, and they will feel important. Number 5 is to be recognized. Being a somebody is just natural and the way it should be. In such a crowded and different world, this is often overlooked in the name of hectic pace. Slow down. Remember people's names. Focus on who you're talking to. Call people by their names. Recognize those who have voluntarily entered your world. People like to be recognized. Number 6. To receive timely service. And if I'm as important as I like to think I am, then it is only natural for you to want to service me in a timely fashion. Now, after all, I'm a very busy person in my mind. You want my attention for years to come? Supply me with the timely service I feel I deserve. Number 7, to receive orderly service. If you don't know what you're doing, go learn what you are paid to do. Don't waste my time as you wander through your learning curve. I'm in a hurry, and in most cases, I want orderly service now. Please do your homework prior to my entrance so you don't waste my time. It's your business. You should know what you're doing. Number 8, to be helped. I don't know how to make this any clearer. When in trouble, people like to be helped. When in need, people like to be helped. When faced with a snag, situation, or negative occurrence, people like to be helped. So help them. Number 9, and the last number in this section, is to feel appreciated. Look, there are only 1,000 other places I could spend my time and my money. I choose you. The least you can do is recognize that I have options and show a little appreciation for my decision to spend time with you. People do not like to be taken for granted. Nobody likes to be taken for granted. So show appreciation regularly. Here are a few facts and rules that I think will serve you well going through the new year. The first one, of course, is the 80-20 rule. Now, this rule is uncanny in its effectiveness. It implies that 80% of your profit originates from only 20% of your client base. Now, what does this mean to you? It means that you need to focus. You need to identify and focus on the 20% of the people in your life that are making a huge difference. Too often, we like to be all things to all people. But according to this rule, 80% of your profits originate from only 20% of your client base. So therefore, let's focus on that 20%. Rule number 2, the 1.6% rule. This is a rule I founded myself, resulting from a little math following the Winter Olympics a few years back. And as luck would have it, our Winter Olympics are coming around again in Russia in a few short weeks. Now, the difference between a gold medal winner in the men's downhill and the 17th place finisher back in the Nagano Olympics was less than 2% in time differential, and you can prove this to yourself in the weeks ahead in Sochi in Russia. In a race that takes 1 minute and 30 seconds, that's 90 seconds, that isn't much difference between first and 17th place, less than 2%. This rule can influence your future. Now, to be really good at what you do doesn't mean you have to be a lot better than your competitors. It implies that if you are just a little better in a number of different yet meaningful areas, you'll be destined for the medal stand. Now, you can believe this, and you can test it yourself in the Winter Olympics, which are just a few weeks away. The next rule is called the rule of reciprocity. This rule implies that what goes around comes around. When you perform a service or do something nice for somebody, they often feel that it is their obligation to return the favor. A personal example of this is when my wife and I once entered a flooring store seeking nothing but information. The store owner was so receptive to all our questions that we would have felt guilty if we left the store empty-handed. We actually looked around for something that we could justify. And yes, we left with a product and receipt in hand. I am sure you have many stories of your own to support this rule. Another phrase in the service business that supports this human phenomenon is known as the give before you get philosophy. Give people your time. Give people your attention. Give people some information, and they are going to feel obligated to return the favor in some shape or form. It's called the rule of reciprocity, and it is effective, and it works, and it is living and alive and well today. The next rule is the known as the rule of 7. Very important rule. If you could follow just one rule, this would be it. And historically, it's always been known as the rule of 7. I have since changed it to the rule of 12, but I'll tell you that in a minute. The rule of 7 is both simple and profound. It ensures your visibility in your marketplace and serves as a constant reminder that when you are out of sight, you are out of mind. Now, making 7 contacts in each 18-month period is the letter of the law. Emails, letters, phone calls, personal visits, and any other contact maneuver you can think of qualifies as one of the 7. As long as you consistently pop back into the prospect's mind from time to time, you will be adhering to this rule. Now, there's nothing sacred or magical about the number 7 or 18. This message is to maintain a consistent and persistent visibility in the lives of those you care about. Now, I just mentioned a moment ago, it's called the rule of 7, but I have since changed it, modified it to call it the rule of 12. And that means that I suggest, with all the noise in the world today, contacting your prospects a minimum of 12 times in every 18-month period makes a lot more sense. So call it the rule of 7, call it the rule of 12, call it whatever you want. The secret is to maintain visibility over time. Write down the percentage, 68%. That's the next fact or rule. I want you to remember that customers will come and customers will go. They will enter your life and depart at different times. You can think of this as the customer cycle of contribution. The fact is that when customers choose to depart company with you, they do so more often than not for a reason. And the reason, more often than not, is not the reason you think it is. 68% of the customers you lose will not be leaving because of something you did. They will be leaving because something you did not do. 68% of customers choose to buzz off simply because they feel you don't care about them. Think about this and then do something about this. This percentage should be closer to 5% in my mind. 68% is bizarre. This is pitiful. Do something about it now. 68% of the people you lose will leave you not because something you did, but because they think you're taking them for granted. That does not happen. It does not have to happen. You can fix this. Now write down the percentage, 35%. This is another percentage meant to get your attention and raise the cackles on the back of your neck. Supposedly, this is the percentage of the customers you actually keep and enjoy any degree of ongoing business with. I know, you swear that this percentage is higher for you. I hope it is. Studies indicate it is not. Believe it or not, do something about it or not, the choice is yours. Don't ever tell me I didn't tell you so. You are keeping 35% of your customers. You haven't focused on it. Prove me wrong. Go bring that number higher by design. But historically, you're not keeping hold of your customers. And again, you can do something about that once you focus on it. The 6-to-1 ratio, this is a relationship that is quick and easy. It takes 6 times the investment to acquire a new customer than it does to keep an existing one. 6 times. So how do you want to spend your time and money? Finding new ones or holding on to what you have already? I know what I would choose. 3-33. For every 3 people who will take the time and make the effort to say something positive and glowing about you and your service, there are 33 others waiting in the wings to spew a negative report about you. Bad news travels faster than good news, much faster. Make your news good news and allow it to seep into the marketplace. The last point in this section is titled stress. Now, this is a favorite topic of mine. We all agree that stress does not flatter us, nor is it something we should be particularly proud of. Stress is the result of outside forces building to a point where we slowly start losing control of our mental and bodily functions. Now, we are not born with stress, yet we manage to accept it as a daily element of adult existence. I don't agree with this. You choose to accept stress, and you do so for a number of reasons. Stress has become a badge of honor in America, it seems. People talk about it as if the more you have, the higher your status in the community. Stress can kill you, folks, not unlike cancer or drunk driving. You don't brag about those two incidents, yet you brag about your stress level. Stop it. Stress is the result of losing control. The answer then lies with your maintaining control of your life, of your health, your weight, your attitude, your job, your family, etc. Get control of your decisions again, and your stress will follow suit. Now, another thing you can do right now to minimize excessive stress is to stop pretending the world operates differently than it does. If you can manage this mindset and simply allow that which you can't control to run its course, you will be much happier, as your stress levels will plummet. Here are 7 of the many mistakes people make when dealing with customers. Now, focusing on these 7 should give you a leg up on your competition. Number 1, multitasking. Pay attention to the person you're with. Don't answer the phone without permission. And never check your cell phone for messages while you're in front of me. Focus on the person you're with. Number 2, not looking people in the eye. This is harder than first imagined. Believe me, you don't do it well. Look people in the eye and let them know you are listening to them. Focus on the people you're with, not listening. This is the number one reason why you won't get the business, and it is the number one reason why you will get the business. Work hard and long at getting out of you and into the words of others. When you think you've got it, keep on practicing. Next, not responding with speed. Speed wins, ladies and gentlemen, in horse races, downhill skiing, car races, and customer service. Regardless of the vehicle used, respond quickly. Next, not answering the phone like you are glad I called. Most people are downright lousy at this. When your phone rings, it's showtime. Be ready, be alert. Introduce some sincere energy into your phone technique, and be happy I dialed your 7 digits. I did have a choice, remember. Next, not seeing me as a 10-year annuity. If you think of me as a one-time buyer, you will treat me as a one-time buyer. If you see me as a 10-year annuity, you will find the energies and reasoning to make me feel special. If you make me feel special, I'll give you another opportunity to do so. And the last point, not saying thank you often enough. If you like your customers and enjoy cashing their checks, tell them so over and over and over again. You cannot say thank you or show your sincere appreciation often enough. So this brings us to the end of sales meeting number 4. Some more reminders on how you are going to make the year 2014 the absolute best year to date. Now remember, it's up to you. You have to bring your personality out into the field, out to the party, knowing that you can't be all things to all people, number 1, knowing that there's people you can help and there's people you can't help, and knowing that what the people need now more than ever is someone they can trust, someone who knows their business and somebody who cares about them. So this concludes our series of sales meetings. I wish you all the best. It's up to you. Your future is up to you. It's all in your hands. You're in the greatest industry there is. You don't have to buy anything. All of the product is there for you. You just have to get up, get out, and make more people glad they know you. This is Mike Marshev, and I want to invite everybody to consider joining me for another year of Inner Circle Sales and Marketing. I know that your affiliation now is over, so if you want to join me for another 12 months on a month-to-month basis, let me know, mike@mikemarshev.com, and we'll get you all registered and ready to roll for another good, fun, happening year of selling, travel, helping people, having fun, making money, and doing your thing. That's it for now. Talk to you later. Bye.